Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's script, which uses a combination of dots and lines in conjunction with these 4 different stems to make our consonants, like this. And vowels are always smaller circles, so in our design they're these little guys. And they have different positions depending upon what vowel they are. So if we look back at our key, they have positions either inside the word circle if they are an O, on the line are centralized inside the consonant if they're an E, I, or U. I's and U's have lines. I's going inwards, U's going outwards, and then A's are always outside the word circle. So yeah, that's the basics of how to make the letters. And consonants, let's start with our first consonant, which is our first letter here in our first word. And this is the bottom of the word circle. You read starting at the bottom and then going counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time. So this is our first letter, and it's a shallow divot shape. So it's this base shape, and it has 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. So that makes it an S. Then we continue around. Here is our next letter. It's a little circle vowel, and it's inside the word circle, so it's an O. So S-O, continuing around. Here's our next letter, and it has 1, 2, 3 lines on it, so we're in this column, and it's a circle inside the word circle. So that's an M. And then inside the M, we have an E. So there's a little vowel enclosed inside it, and it's right in the middle, so that's an E. So S-O-M-E. T has no lines ending on it. So even though this line passes through it, it doesn't end on it, so it doesn't count. So lines can pass through things and not count, but when they end on things, they count. So this has no modifiers. So that's just the letter T. And then here we have our I with a line going inwards. Continuing on, here's another M. So this M looks way different than this M because the lines are different. 1, 2, 3 lines on that one, and 1, 2, 3 lines on that one. And then here's the E inside that M. And again, the E also looks different. Still smaller than the M, still inside the M, but this one is off-center and a little smaller. So it looks a bit different than this slightly bigger, thicker, centralized E. So M-E, and then we have our last letter. It's a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines on it. So that's another S, just like this one, because this thicker line passes through it. So it's important that this little arc does show up and is present in the tattoo, because it needs to be there to be another 1, 2 lines ending on this. Otherwise, it looks like the letter V. It needs 3 to be an S. 1 makes it a V. 1, 2, 3. So S-O-M-E-T-I-M-E-S, sometimes. Then we have our next word circle here, and it doesn't look like there's anything on it except for this little A, which is a little bit closer to this circle than anything else, so we know it belongs here. So this is just the word all by itself. Letter A on a word circle. So and then here's our next word. It's another S with 1, 2, 3 lines, just like this S and that S. Then we have a T, just like this T. Another O, just like that. So we have an R with 1, 2, 3 dots on a shallow divot. 3 dots, shallow divot. And then we have a Y, 1, 2 dots on a circle on the line of the word circle. So Y. So S-T-O-R-Y. Even though these dots make like a kind of pattern, we can still tell that 3 dots go here and 2 dots go here. So story. Then we have this thing here. And there's a little word kind of nestled here, but because this word is at the bottom and we'd start reading here, this is the first letter we hit and we'd read this word first. So this is a deep divot shape because it is more than 50% complete and starts curving back in on itself. It looks like an omega. And there's lots of lines passing through it, but we've got to look close to see that 1, 2 lines do in fact end on it. This is not a vowel because it's not a complete circle. This is a line because it ends here and here. So 1, 2 lines makes this an H. And then we continue around. Here's a little circle outside the word circle. That's an A, just like that A. And then another S. 1, 2, 3 lines on that S. So has. Then we have our next word, bottom of it's here. Circle inside the word circle with one line. So one line and circle inside the word circle. So that's an N. And then this is the vowel on the N because it's a little circle. And that is an O because it's like a beat on a string. So no, no. And then E, N, D with 1, 2, 3 dots. So a D is a lot like an R with 1, 2, 3 dots, except it's a deep divot. So it should be right next to the R, the same column. So D. So end, E, N, D. And it's important that this line does not end on this circle, because if it had a line going outward, that would make it a U. E's have no lines on them. So it's important that this line tapers off and is in line with the word circle so it doesn't look like it ends on that E. So sometimes a story has no end. And I really love the flow of this design. It's so swirly and pretty, and I think it'll make such a beautiful tattoo. I hope you love it. I love it. I think it's awesome. Bye.